So, people, we have to talk. All right, so AEW. I've been so busy. I've been trying to balance my time, but it's not it's not easy, man. So okay, but let me just say this about AEW, man. They have been on fire for a while now, and you're not gonna catch everybody's eye. And people are biased. They like things a certain way. They don't like change. They don't like what's different. They won't admit when something is really good. Um, WrestleMania weekend, I saw a lot of different people saying, "Hey, man, AEW stole the show. That's the only good thing that happened this past week. It was AEW Dynamite and Collision." And honestly, you know, when I look at what they've been doing, I saw the difference. Oh, for a while, it's been a couple of months now. Where I was like, yeah, they're doing things differently, and I like what I'm seeing. Um, to show you too how what I'll tell you something like they've taken Megan Bain, bam, she's an instant star. You see after her match with you see what she's been doing after the match with Tony Storm at the last pay-per-view. You heard the reaction when she came out, and no, they weren't in her. They wasn't in her hometown. Okay, did you hear the ovation she got? As she's a heel, that's appreciation. Like she's a big time player. They've taken this guy Kevin Knight, bam, instant star. When Dante Martin beat Chris Jericho, he got that recognition right away. But as far as how they moved him, it was a slow build, cool off, heat up a little bit, because he can wrestle. So them teaming him up now with I forget the little guy's name. But bottom line, I'm watching them. Harley, Cameron, like they look, Harley Cameron, they're taking these people, they're Ricochet, they've retuned and fine-tuned these people. What they're doing with Max Caster, he's gonna be one of those heels that the fans go crazy for. They're gonna start saying his little catchphrase, and he's gonna probably end up turning slowly into a face, and he's gonna be one of those characters. And I'm assuming that one day he'll end up coming to the conclusion of, man, look, I got to get serious. I got to, because this is what part of this the entertainment is of it. Okay, they brought Bruce Bowen back, and he's we'll see where he stands amongst the top of the food chain there. He came back with Billy Gunn, but they have been doing a lot of different things, and I like the fact that Powerhouse Hobbs had replaced Hook for being injured, and they won the Trios Championships. That was cool, man. And really, it was unexpected to me that they, took the belts from the Death Riders, but I'm glad that they did. And right now, the way things are going, there's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of just things that people are looking forward to happening. And now people are just the people around. They're starting to talk even different. About what's going on. But that's one of the things about pro wrestling, man. Is like people are so biased and so stupid when it comes to this pick a side stupid shit, man. Just watch the product. When AEW started to become stale, I was voicing my opinion about what they needed to do to pick things back up. It's not like it was terrible. It was way better at one point. Now they start to pick that pace back up. I mean, people that are into this whole I'm pro WWE, like you guys are crying when certain wrestlers come out, like, okay, whatever, man. You guys are weirdos, man. I'm fucking am I crying for? Like, Anyway, but yeah, I'm watching what they're doing, man. Oh man, Takeshita versus Will Ospreay, that match was like, that's the type of matches you're supposed to have at WrestleMania, man. Somebody's supposed They don't have anybody to put those type of matches on. They just don't. And I mean, the whole card from top to bottom, both shows, man, Dynamite and Collision. I'm just wow. I mean, look, man, Mercedes Moné. This is what I think is gonna happen, man. This is what I would like to see this happen. Because when you're making history, let's go all out. Mercedes Moné, I believe, is going to win the Women's Owen Cup, and I believe she's gonna add that nice, beautiful pink and gold belt to her collection. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know who's going to win the men's. I'm hoping it's Will Ospreay. Now, we know that, what's the other guy, man? The one that always calls somebody bitch, Okada. You know, he's, the favorite, like as far as people giving their opinions, especially the commentary team, they're like, calling him Mr. Tournament winner, so they're thinking that he's going to be the one. But I'm hoping it is Will Ospreay. But we'll see. I think it's gonna come down to Will and Mercedes. That's who I think is gonna win. That's who I want to see win. But we'll see. But yeah, man. I mean, I like the build up and how they go from the Continental Classic. Then a month later, 2 months, whatever it is, a couple months later, then they got the Owen, going on, and then this leading like to All In. Like being their big pay-per-view. But like this is one of the things that I'm saying about the way AEW does their running the company, and they've stated several times during their commentary and in different interviews, we are professional wrestling. We're not sports entertainment. Yes, we give entertainment, and initially they wanted to have more of a sporty feel. I remember even conversation they were talking about like how like on ESPN, like they'll have stuff going across the screen and stuff like that, letting you know who beat who and what match and what they got going on, stuff like that, and have it look more like a sport, have like a sporty feel to it. The only thing about that style, it doesn't leave much room for storylines, and your storylines have to be more sporty based to where it's less like imagine Abaddon. You understand what I'm saying? Having something like Abaddon on your roster and you're doing that. Even MJF's character wouldn't work with that type of, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's everybody has to be more serious. It's more like looking at UFC fighters or boxers for that matter. Like where, it's more of anger and but more focus on the match. But where's the storyline? That storyline stuff don't work with that style. Where the stories have to be minimal. That's why when they was first talking about it, I was interested to see how, and I feel like, hey, it's different. I don't want to see them doing the same things that the WWE is doing, like the same type of gimmicks. And it's like, it's wrestling, so something's always going to remind you of something to be similar to something somebody's doing. But the feel, I didn't want to have that feel like the WWE. And they did a great job of separating themselves. But what they're doing now, I like even more. Okay, the thing is, there's no such thing as keeping. Like, if you got 10 million views right now, you think 30 years from now, you're just going to have them same 10 million? No. There's going to be a lot of people that stop watching. A lot of new people start watching. A lot of new faces come and go. And it's always about understanding how to stay on top. How to stay in the loop, man. So, I mean, I it's like WWE acquiring AAA. Hey, do something with it. Great. Now do something with it. They're gonna start airing episodes. I don't know what, if it's gonna be on Tubi, or if it's gonna be I don't know. I guess they'll tell us more in the because they had an advertisement for it already. I don't remember, but I don't know what provider is gonna be on, what channel, whatever. So, but however it's gonna go. I don't support any company that have that seek and destroy mindset, like they want to see other companies fail because they're greedy and they feel like they should have all the power. They want all of I don't support that mentality, man. I don't like that shit. But yeah, AEW's been on fire, man. I mean, I saw Mercedes Moné the other day. She was doing a live, and someone asked her, "Is she planning on coming back to WWE anytime soon?" And she said no. And this is what it's supposed to be. And I think fans are just ignorant as fuck for even asking that question, to be honest with you. It's like, man, you guys are more concerned about her going to WWE than she is. She's fine where she is. She's happy where she is. And whatever happens in the future happens. But, like, that's really... You ever watch, like, a Super Bowl or something with someone? And instead of enjoying the game that's in front of them, they keep talking about what's going to happen next year and who had who and who's doing what. And it's like, man, are you going to shut up and enjoy this game? Or, they're so... It's like little kids. They just can't stick with one thing. So they start saying things like, they ain't going to win it next year. Well, we don't know that, do we? They might not. Whatever. They want it this year. Right now. This is the here and now. That's what we focused on. When that time comes, then we'll deal with that time. And so the fact that people just keep asking her this stupid ass question, the funny thing is, people think that every time someone leaves WWE and goes to AEW or go anywhere, that they're supposed to just automatically start this boom, okay, instantly champion, because they're from... No, it's not how it works. But then it's funny because Mercedes Moné, she's been racking up belts all over the place, and she's very successful, and she's dominating. Her and Athena, they had a good match. They went back and forth, and I really feel like Mercedes Moné is going to win that tournament. I hope she does. And I mean, I just like what's going on, man. I like the fact that Toni Storm's starting to get involved. Like, just the first time you saw her, she came out, she's standing there, she's applauding. You see her and Mercedes staring at each other, and after the match that Mercedes had, with Athena. I mean, listen, man, the Julia Hart match, the tag match, like everything that's going on. And like somebody made a comment, and I addressed it before about Megan Bayne. Oh, it made this stupid comment about Megan Bayne's fighting in front of empty crowds, which is bullshit. But at the same time, Jade Cargill's going on to WrestleMania. And it's funny that ever since I dropped those videos, now everybody's starting to make a video talking about how Megan Bayne has already surpassed Jade Cargill. Didn't I say that shit to you guys? She look at the shit that Megan Bayne does, and look at what they have Jade Cargill do. And Jade Cargill, I love Jade Cargill. She goes and says, you're going to be impressed. You're going to be amazed. I'm going to do... Her match with Naomi was weak as fuck to me. It was a weak-ass match. And like I said, there was no grudge. There was no bad... Like, the bad blood vibes. And there was just like two competitors just like watching a Raw SmackDown match. And like Megan Bayne, man, she's a killer out there, man. She comes out there and she just wants to destroy. Jade is out here smiling and posing and smiling at the fans, and it's just like, okay. I blame Triple H. I blame the people that's putting this shit together. I don't know what it is with these guys. They come to WWE and they're all giddy, like, I'm just happy, so happy to be here. I can't stop smiling. You're in a match with a woman that took you out and you're smiling. Like this is some friendly match. Like, wow. The psychology is bullshit. It's insulting. And truthfully, when I was watching Megan Bayne, and I thought about what that idiot said, and I said, hey, look, not only did she lost at the pay-per-view. Toni Storm got the quick roll-up, okay, boom. Guess what, though? Megan Bayne pinned Toni Storm. Megan Bayne beat Chris Statlander. Megan Bayne beat Thunder Rosa. So, you understand what I'm saying? She already beat some top-level names. Now, name somebody Jade Cargill beat that we give a fuck about. Don't worry, I'll wait. That's my point. They have not given her anything. All they did was got her in there, and she's doing a bunch of shit. There was no build up to her match. No, they didn't really talk about this. Nothing. And I'm like, yeah. Naomi hasn't done much of shit. You know what's funny, man? When I was watching WrestleMania, I'm gonna tell you something. What's the guy name? What's the fucking with the raspy voice? He used to be a wrestler. He is a terrible commentator, man. He gives away the fucking match. He tells you what's going to happen without even realizing it. Man, this guy just say the dumbest shit. And I'm sitting there like, why don't I would be like, yo, shut the fuck up, man. You covered him, giving the match away. This dude just the shit he says. But he tells the truth, not meaning to. He said about Naomi, he said, Naomi is wrestling. Her mindset is different now. For the longest time, she felt like she was being treated like a C-level wrestler. Exactly. Then one of the other commentators go, well, that was in her mind. Like he tries to save it because he's just. So I'm like, no, that's why the fuck she and Mercedes Moné left the WWE in the first place. And, Mercedes went to Japan. She traveled. She wrestled all over. And then she had the injury. And then she ends up, when she got better, and she came back to AEW. She came to AEW. Then, Naomi, of course, went over to TNA, became Knockouts champion over there. And then when her contract was up there, she came running back to WWE. And basically, look at what they were going through. Look at what they dealt with. And all the fans turned on Mercedes Moné and turned on Naomi in defense of the WWE. Notice how they didn't turn on CM Punk, and he walked out of the WWE. Bashed him and said they were a terrible company, and bottom line, they had the talent in the back, but the people that run it are pieces of shit. He went down on them. They didn't say all that shit about nobody in WWE. They just simply spoke about they didn't like the treatment and how things were going. And they're not going to be forced to do things, that they don't stand for and stuff like that. So, no, just shut up. Do what you're told. Earn your fucking paycheck. Do what we said. That's pretty much the mentality that slaves have. And people are slaves to the machine because no matter what they do in the WWE, they can do no wrong. So, yeah, Wade Barrett. Yeah, that's his name. He was absolutely right. Yeah, exactly. She was being treated like a fucking mid-carder. What has Naomi done since she's come back? Nothing. And that little bullshit storyline, and threw her in there, she held the tag title with Bianca. There's been no interaction with her and Bianca since, and nothing. No interaction with Bianca and Jade ever said. Nothing. Nothing. And it's like, there's nothing special about Naomi. Naomi stood up on the step when she's about to do a move on Jade, and she goes, "I do this for fun." Like, I'm just sitting there looking and watching the match. It's like, this match just feels terrible. Like Charles Barkley would say, it feels terrible. And it's like, if you was to watch this match and somebody asked you, why are they fighting? What happened? And you told them, oh, she was pushed off of a ledge. The big muscular one was pushed off a ledge and slammed through a fucking car windshield and was put out of wrestling for like 3 months. They'd be like, so why is she in there wrestling? Like, where's the grudge? Where's the anger? Where's the... Exactly. So I love what AEW is doing with Megan Bayne. I love what they're doing with Ricochet. This dude, Kevin Knight, he was a replacement, I think, for Jay White. And he showed up and he showed out, man. And, he just beat Big Bill. He's been in some solid matches. I love what they're doing with the Hurt Syndicate right now, man. Looking at how things go, it's 2 of them, with 3 of them, and just MJF. So unless he forms a group of his own, I can't see him going against 3 dudes. So part of me feels like somehow, some way, he's going to wind up being a part of the Hurt Syndicate. I don't know what they're going to do if it comes down to him winning a particular match or something he has to do to, something to get in. I think one way or another, he's going to end up joining the Hurt Syndicate or forming his own group, because that's the only way he can match them. It's just him by himself. So I'm interested to see what's going on with that. He comes out, brought the ladies, gave up his watch to Shelton Benjamin. He's trying to get in the Hurt Syndicate so badly. We'll see how things go. But, this is what I mean, man. Their version of sports entertainment, man, like of the entertainment side of things, it's wrestling, like I said, but at the same time, man, it's like, this is what I mean, man. Like, You can do all that, but once you go in the ring, you want to deliver on your matches. And see, that's where, like I said, AEW, they found that balance. And so instead of an idiot talking about they're wrestling in front of empty crowds, like you're wishing bad things. Like I don't personally care how you feel about no company, but I can't even have conversations with ignorant people like that. Like when we speak and say we're saying, we hope that we light a fire under Triple H's ass. If AEW is slipping, we hope we light a fire under Tony Khan's ass and whoever runs NLW. I'm not saying nothing about any company because I want to see them go out of business. But at the same time, if you're not honest about how you feel and you're just repeating what other people say and you say stupid shit like I'm just here for the AEW hate, well, yeah, exactly. You are who I'm talking about. You prove my point about the stupidity of people who open their mouth to speak and try to bash something because it's different from what they like. And what's really weird is, like I said in the last video, they don't even like what the WWE is doing, but they just don't want to say another company is outshining WWE. They're doing a better job than the WWE. And, that's really stupid. I mean, that's really stupid. I mean, I like the Las Vegas Raiders in football. The Raiders suck. I'm going to sit up here and argue with somebody and tell them that the Raiders is better than their team, yet the team that they like beat the Raiders, have a better record than the Raiders. No. You suck, you suck. You understand what I mean? And I'm not into, to be honest with you, if it's not for social media, if it's not for people running their mouths, I'm not even focused on comparing the two or any company. I always look at each company for doing what they're doing. But it's funny how AEW can go give a fire-ass show. WWE fans will find a way to try to bash it, right? WWE can give you some pure garbage. Somehow, WWE fans will lie and pretend they like that garbage. And then when they do open up, the ones that do open up and speak against it, I wish I could see The Rock. I wish I could see his facial expression when he's back there, with the headset on, watching on a monitor. I like to just call him, Rock, you see me? Look at you now. Huh? Yeah, last year you was smacking the fuck out of Cody with that belt. Look at you now. Huh? Mama Rose, look at your boy. Look at you now. Yeah, look at you now. Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, I try to watch. As a matter of fact, too, man. Let me address this because somebody was making a comment. They said something about Roman Reigns having leukemia and this, that, and I said, listen, anybody with an illness, if you're gonna fucking speak and you want to talk about humanity, then give us a salute to Chris Bay. Basically, I think he did a move and he caught his spine on the rail again. They were saying he would never walk again. I told you I saw him in another show. He's like he was walking like something was wrong with his legs or something. He already was a small guy. He looked really thin now, especially. So I don't think he'll ever wrestle again. He's able to walk at least, but I don't think he'll ever. Hopefully, Chris Bay can be used as an agent behind the scenes, working with talent or something like that, man. Hopefully something like that. What about, Kenny Omega with diverticulitis? Huh? You see the point what I'm saying. You're such wrestling lovers. No, you're not. You're WWE lovers. That's all you are. And well, the reason why I'm shouting out Roman because, he hit right. Exactly. There's other wrestlers that have went through the same thing or worse or just as bad. And, but, I don't care about them. That's what you might as well say. You don't have to care about them. But it's like, that's just completely stupid, man. Because one guy, yeah, we know he went through that, but like I said, Kenny Omega, same thing. Both of them have life-threatening type situations, and here you are, Chris Bay could easily been paralyzed, and you're picking and choosing what story you care about. Like, you're not even good human beings. Like that, honestly, not even a good person. You watch a professional boxing match, a professional boxer that's well-known dies or something, the whole world knows about it. An unknown boxer dies, not well-known, but nobody cares. And people within the boxing world are not even saying, hey, man, salute to this guy, his family. Why? Because he's not well-known. Come on, man. Just saying, but Look, AEW is doing what they're doing. Today's Tuesday. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow night. And yeah, man, and just so forth and so on. I like to enjoy what I'm watching. I like to enjoy the ride. So when a company has a show and it doesn't really hit home, it's like, okay, try again next week. But it's something it's not the end. I don't understand. Like I'm not in my feelings about this shit. I'm not upset, angry, mad, nothing. Only thing I feel is either I like the show or it was a boring show or whatever. But I'm not by no stretch of the mind angry or upset. Why the fuck would I be? I saw a dude sitting up with a fucking banana suit on. I don't just mean the suit was yellow. I mean, he literally had the sleeves, there's no sleeves, his arms are out. He's dressed like a fucking banana, and he was sitting there bitching and complaining about WrestleMania. And I'm like, bro, you're dressed like a banana. You're a grown ass man, and you're dressed like a fucking banana. You shouldn't be complaining about anything except for what the fuck you're wearing. But I'm just saying, this is the world we live in now. Grown ass men sitting up in one piece pajamas like little kids would. Grown women doing the same thing. So the things that appeal to little kids, like when you were a kid and you watched a cartoon, like growing up watching like the Super Friends or some shit, and they never had fist fights, nothing, no action. They always shooting little laser guns and saving cats from trees and saving trains from falling off of a broken track, shit like that. That's the most shit they did on the show. There's supposed to be some superhero shit, right? Okay, I can fly. I got super speed, and I can go in the water for an hour and not drown, and all this kind of shit. And you get older and you outgrow that shit, It's like, so. Anyways, it is what it is, man. But we just want to see the products get better, man. And AEW stepped their game up and they've revamped and they're doing an excellent job, man. Everything doesn't just happen overnight, man. You got to build and rebuild. So salute the AEW for the job you're doing. And hey, man, this is what we're here for. To bring awareness and want to see change for the better. This is what I have for you right now. Catch you guys on the next one.